Hello everyone, this is your Sahu sir. So today we are going to discuss some topics which are related to micro and macro economics. So let us discuss this information today, right? Actually, under this subject matter, under this subject matter of economics, or the scope of economics, where the economics is divided into two. Economics is divided into two. Number one, microeconomics. Number two, macroeconomics. So the economics is divided into two parts, microeconomics as well as the macroeconomics. First, what we have to learn it is the concept of micro and macro. The first which is been brought out by Ragnar Frisch. Ragnar Frisch, the first brought out by the Ragnar Frisch in the year 1933, which is from Oslo University. Oslo University, okay na? Right. So first these two terms are being brought out by the Ragnar Frisch. First these terms which has been brought out by the Ragnar Frisch. The concept of micro and macro brought out by Ragnar Frisch in the year 1930. He is from University of Oslo. Right. So one by one we will discuss, and today we will discuss about the microeconomics, and later in another video we will discuss about macroeconomics. Okay, so first of all we will discuss and we will put the heading microeconomics. Microeconomics. Okay now. First, the word micro derived from Greek word, and the word is mikros, which means small, okay now. The word microeconomics, actually it has been derived from Greek word, which means, okay now, the word is mikros, which means small, right? Basically the microeconomics has other two names. The microeconomics is also called as price theory, or we also call it as partial analysis. Microeconomics is also called as price theory. Also, we used to call it as partial analysis. Okay now. So actually, the microeconomics, actually it deals with individual or single units. It is dealing with individual or single unit. Means what? I will tell you. Here, about my income only, about my income only, how much I am getting the income. This is related to individual, this is related to individual. Okay na? Only Natraj pencils, then it deals with the individual. Okay na? And next, only Samsung, it deals with only Samsung related industry, then it comes under the individual or single, individual or single, right? In the same way, only demand of mobile, Samsung mobile. Okay na? So here individual demand, it deals with individual good related supply, in the same way individual good related price, individual good related price, means it is dealing with only individuals, it is dealing with only single units, right? So then we used to come under the microeconomics. Okay now? So after knowing this, let us go through it. Scope of microeconomics, right? So let us discuss the scope of microeconomics. Scope of microeconomics. So what the microeconomics covers, what are the topics which is being dealt by the microeconomics, so those important points we used to see it now, right? So under the scope of microeconomics, right, under the scope of microeconomics, it deals with the points such as, one by one we will discuss. Under that, number one, product pricing. Okay na? Product pricing. What is this product pricing? Individual good, when it is been manufactured by a individual industry, then he has to decide the price, then he has to decide the cost, and how much on the basis of that he used to generate the revenue. This kind of aspects has been dealt by the microeconomics. Okay na? So most probably if you see, under that product price, it has again divided into two concepts, right? So here, theory of demand, and the other one is, okay na, theory of production, as well as theory of cost, right? How the price is decided? He will get the dreamer, I will quote the price this much, right? No, it's a business, it's not a sleep or it's not a dream. So he has to decide on the basis of what is the production cost and how much the cost is involved to produce a single unit. On the basis of that unit related particular price is decided, because micro is dealing with individual units only na, right? Individual good related price, so the price is decided basis upon the cost of production. In the same way, the other matter, which is other scope, which is that is called as factors pricing, right? Factors pricing. What is this factors pricing? You heard about factors of production. Land, labor, capital, organization. In the previous we have been studied, right? So what is this factors pricing? Means what the pricing is being decided to each and every factors, right? And such as okay na, like rent, wages, okay na, wages. Next, interest and profits. right? So factor pricing, these are all are nothing but income of factors of production, income of factors of production, right? So upon the factors of production they used to get some sort of income. What are the factors of production? The factors of production such as land, labor, okay, capital, and organization, okay na? So factors of production is needed by the industry, and these factors of production when it is needed to the industry, generally we are nothing but the factors of production to the industry. When we are giving some efforts by factors, in return they used to get something, isn't it? So here individuals, when individuals are giving to the industry, then what they will get? If they give land, then they used to get the rent. In the same way, labor, for example, I am a worker, I am one of the factors of production. Then I used to get some sort of wages or salaries. Yes or no? So here, labor, they used to get the wages or salaries. Capital, banks are giving the loans. Bank is giving loans freely, yeah? No, they were charging some sort of interest. In the same way, organization or entrepreneur, an entrepreneur is working freely, yeah? He has some sort of expectation. What is the expectation? His expectation is nothing but to get a profit. And what is that profit? Profit is nothing but income of factors of production only, na? Yes or no? So the income which is being earned through the factors of production, that comes under the factors pricing, and this factors pricing is being decided with the help of macroeconomics: rent, wages, interest, as well as the profits. In the same way, the next one which we have, that is called as theory of economic welfare. Theory of economic welfare, right? Under this theory of economic welfare, most probably here, what they used to do, here they used to go through under the, okay na, well-being means each and every person should have the well-being. How they used to have the well-being? Most probably if they used to get satisfaction with good quality of good with less price, quality of good with a less price, ultimately he used to get some sort of satisfaction of well-being. Yes or no? And most probably if you see allocation of resource, effectively, okay na, and effectively and efficiently allocation of resource is also comes under the theory of economic welfare. If the resources are utilized effectively and efficiently, most probably it is nothing but we can satisfy of our wants. Yes, if the resources are to be used perfectly and to satisfy our wants, definitely we have to use the resources effectively and efficiently without wasting the resources, right? Then only we could satisfy the want. So this aspect is dealing under the theory of economic welfare, right? So this is the scope of microeconomics. Actually, microeconomics more development, okay na? Actually it is developed by, microeconomics is developed by alfred marshall. Microeconomics is developed by alfred marshall. He developed the concept, but brought out by Ragnar Frisch, developed by Alfred Marshall. What he developed? Microeconomics. Okay, na? Right? So now we will go through with the next important aspect is importance importance of microeconomics. Importance of microeconomics. Now we will deal and we will check out these points here. Okay, now so how it is important to us, the microeconomics. Let us study one by one. So microeconomics is very much helpful. Okay, now microeconomics is helpful for allocation allocation of resource in the previously we have studied na, the resources are very important and helpful for allocation of resource to produce goods. How much the resources has to be allocated? More resource allocated is also the problem. Less resources is allocated is also the problem. Accurately, how much the resource should be allocated, this kind of calculation is being done by the microeconomics. Okay, now next number two. Number two, it deals with, okay, now it is helpful. Okay, now helpful for government. Okay, now it is helpful for government. It is helpful for government to bring price stability. Right? Fluctuations in the prices is not a good concern in the economics. If the prices are fluctuations, definitely it is going to the effect of the economy. A stable economy we need. And how we can get a stable economy? If the prices are stable. Yes or no? So the microeconomics helps to brought out this stability in the prices. Next, number three. It is helpful. It is means microeconomics is helpful. Okay, now, to examine economic welfare. It helpful for to determine the economic welfare and maximize social welfare. Right. So already in the previous I have told you, economic welfare is very important here. So how the economic welfare can be brought out and how the social welfare can be maximized. Means each and everybody can satisfy their want with good quality of good at a good price or less price. How it can be done? This kind of examination can be done with the help of microeconomics. Okay, now next number 4, right? Microeconomics helpful to determine foreign exchange rates. Okay, na? And international trade. You know na foreign exchange. What are those? Dollars, right? Euros, pounds, yen, okay, na? Dinars. These are all some sort of foreign exchange, foreign currencies. So each and every foreign currencies has their value. If you want to purchase at $1, then we have to pay some rupee. Right? So how much rupee has to be paid? That is being determined with the help of microeconomics. So foreign exchange rates, foreign currency rates is been determined with the help of microeconomics. right? Next, number 5, the microeconomics is helpful, okay na, to determine the tax burden, to helpful to determine the tax burden between the between producers and consumers, producers and consumers, right? So if the taxes are more, if the taxes are more, do we purchase? No. Why? If the taxes are more, price will be also more, na? Tax is more is nothing but price is more. Tax is less is nothing but price is less. If the taxes are more and if we cannot purchase, then it is a big burden to us, na? If the onion kg becomes 80 rupees kg, then it becomes the burden to the customer as well as the producer also, right? So these kind of aspects is been taken out under this tax burden, right? So this is some of the importance of microeconomics. I hope you have understand. Okay, na? Please mention in your comment box, as well as if you have any sort of doubts, please do let me know in the comments. Please subscribe for more updates. Thank you so much.